And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another review recap of the HBO Max show, The Last of Us. It's your boy Lou here with my second born Terrell. What's going on, sir?
What's going on? What's going on, man? Been kind of surprised we got this episode. Really surprised.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
really surprised.
so
Um,
episode 7, which I am calling uh Friends Forever, because it reminded me of Saved by the Bell when
oh,
they were singing the Friends Forever song when it became a hit song and then Zach head blew up. But so I figured I would name this episode that because again, as we said before, unfortunately we're reviewing it early. We have no names of these episodes. I don't know if they're just going to call it episode 7 or if they're going to name it something else, but who cares? Just go by our name. Our
right.
names always fit better here. But we open up episode 7 with amazingly Ellie being able to drag Joel to this abandoned house to lay him on his bed to actually help put pressure on his wound. I'm
Mhm.
going to ask you this here. We saw from the end of the last episode that Joel fell off the horse and was almost passed out.
Yeah.
So, are we to believe a 13-year-old girl was able to pick up that man and drag him into that house?
I'm assuming she had some type of apparatus to drag him with the horse to the house because there's no way the time it would take her to do that. Yeah, or she had some type of help along the way, but no, yeah, she does not have superpowers in the game. She's not capable of
Okay, I was just
moving
making sure.
this at least 190-pound man across wherever they went. They went in the snow, right?
Yes, they said they were in a place where that should have been almost impossible. That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
We
Maybe.
asking too many questions about the. Yeah, you know what's
Oh,
crazy? I never really questioned it until I had to rewatch it. And I'm like, huh.
yeah, that would make little to no sense. That's why I
Yeah.
asked. I never knew. But based off of the trauma that she's going through with Joel, we kick into the story of Ellie through flashbacks. And here we flashback to her in her original QZ in a gym class, and she violently beats a girl. Now, the most important part of this aspect of being in this QC at this moment is the conversation that's had afterwards with the captain, which is if you go down one road, you're going to be just a grunt and we'll treat you bad, use you how we want to, but you have the intelligence to be an officer, someone who can almost punish people at will if need be.
Mm.
Here with this being established in this episode of how the QZ operates, because this is the first time I've ever seen so far this season where it's even spoken about how people get jobs in the QZ. Is this something that the game explores? The differences between the people, between the runts and officers?
No, no, they
Oh,
don't
so
do
this
it.
is just a new
Yeah,
element added.
they added some extra there because for the most part, yeah, you get that scene where Ellie Ellie has the thing when Riley comes through the window, but we ain't get nothing here with the captain and explaining his life goals and how
Hmm.
you get a lottery ticket to get your job. figure that out. But no,
Yeah.
like I said, I was quite surprised. Even I didn't know where we were going with this until we got into a little bit later and into the scene. But
Ah,
like I said, I'm surprised because the this part this particular story was DLC was I'm sorry, it was added content after the game was
okay.
finished.
Because
So it
I was
was
about to say, what does
yeah,
that
it
mean?
wasn't originally placed in the original game story.
Ah,
It's a separate thing that you do. So the placement for it is pretty good for where they found in the episodes because like I said they gotta have I'm not gonna say filler but like just backstory in between the slowdown our main goal.
well, you
Um,
you can call it filler because I mean this episode did feel a
um,
little bit like filler.
right.
I mean, granted, it's not bad filler because you're filling in the story of a main character and how we came to know this character and what happened to make us come to know the character.
Right.
So it's not necessarily bad filler, but it's still filler nonetheless. Now, it's briefly mentioned when she gets in a fight with her classmate that her protector is gone. Later on in the episode, we get the arrival of Riley, who I did look it up. is part of the game. It's part of the downloadable content thingy that you're just talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, have you played the downloadable content? First
Yes.
question.
Yes.
So, how realistic is this Riley to the Riley that you're introduced in the game? Did Storm Reed do a good job of bringing this character to life?
Yeah. I mean, I thought they definitely picked a good actress to play the role. I mean, that's exactly how. I mean, they have it. They almost have it like Chris said, scene for scene on how the game is. If you go back and watch some of them cutscenes, you see her come through the window. She sneaks up on Ellie. Ellie pulls a blade out on her. Because that's how people sleep in the QC. But yeah. The game I want to say is like that part of the game is like less than maybe like 6 or 7 hours, maybe a little more. But it's not long, but like they gotten all that in less than 45 minutes or 50 minutes in this episode.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
So hold up. This whole thing between them two went for 6 hours in the game.
yeah,
It
because
must be because of the things that you got to do.
Right. Yeah, you had to buy this separate, so they had to give you at least like 6 or 8 hours of gameplay, which is really
I'm
not.
starting to think they ripped y'all off.
Yeah,
There's no way.
$15 or $20 or something like that.
Oh man, there's no way this should have went. I was more upset that this episode went for 40 minutes, let alone that content go for 6 hours. So once they meet up, we get I'm about to call it Storm. Riley informing Ellie why she left, why she went where she went to, that she's joined the Fireflies, that she'll be going off with them, that she believes in their crusade against the I want to say the
Fedra.
I can't think. No, I wouldn't thinking of Fedra as the name. It's architectural against the powers that be, and that she believes in the Fireflies. We see Ellie actually defend Fedra, and is that a conflict that we get in the game, or is it a conflict that they added to the show? And either way, do you think it's a good early conflict between them two to have?
Between Riley and
Ellie, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I mean they obviously stand on the opposite sides of the coin here, and how she feels about it. Ellie can only give her perspective from where she is now. She hasn't seen the other side of what the Fireflies, or what the Fireflies are. The present day Ellie that we have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as she says, in the rooftop scene, like you think you know everything, but you don't. She doesn't have that experience, and it's one of the things I really love about this episode is seeing first time experiences through somebody that's never experienced anything. Kind of question the Firefly hiring practices. 3 weeks and you get a gun and a post.
Hey, look. We're in a society where we can't be waiting longer than that now. Look, all you need is 3 weeks.
3 weeks and you're under 18. Here's your gun. Here's your spot. Defend the mall. Like,
hey, look. Nobody's supposed to be in the mall. I'm guessing that's why. But here we get them going on. I'm gonna call it their little lover's journey, because that's what it feels like in this episode, of just them experiencing the mall. Riley showing Ellie the things that she's experienced in the mall, and I think it's just her wanting to bring Ellie with her to enjoy this experience, especially since later on in the episode we find out that this is one of Riley's last days in this area. So she just wanted to bring Ellie along with it. What did you think about in the show, the way they played out this a day in the life type of feel of them going around this mall, experiencing different things, looking at different shops, wondering how did people operate? Like, why the shoe store's empty, but the store with the soap still has lots of soap in it?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Or even just the lingerie store, the body shop, and them looking at it. And again, as you said, them experiencing this for the first time, them not understanding what really is the purpose for all of this stuff.
Right.
So how do you think this part of this aspect ran in this episode?
Like I said, I really love this part in particular. Like I said, seeing their reaction to these things, like for the first time. We got kids that are born into this world that didn't get to see how the world was before. They're born into this craziness. They're born into the QZ, so that's all they know is apparently everything just has this Mexican overtone to the world. that was the wrong choice.
Wow. Wow. Is that okay? Explain what you meant by that. I need an explanation now.
I'm sorry. So in movies where they show like if
Mhm.
they're like in Mexico or something like that, it has like a particular filter. The world looks like the sun is constantly through a cloud. It looks orange. That's kind of like what the Last of Us
Mm,
world looks like.
mm. So
Almost
not an apocalyptic view of the world in the way those films and series are shot.
right, right.
A Mexican filter? Like you said a Mexican filter. And you did not do a good job of explaining yourself there, Kanye, by saying a Mexican filter. But go ahead. Go ahead. We we
What was
we
I saying?
now as the audience, we all know what you feel about this filter and the race of people you have tied this filter to.
No, no, no.
But
Oh
go ahead.
man,
What was your point you was making before you
I'm
said
finished on
your
YouTube.
hated comment?
But yeah, like I said, like them being born into the world, seeing these experiences for the first time. Not only was it real cute and innocent, but just
Yeah.
getting another moment of like reprieve, like we can step away from the craziness. Like the world, we get a moment in the show where everything kind of just really feels normal, and I think that's what I really liked about the scene. For now, like they can go into the mall, have a good time, be teenagers. They can
Yeah.
play around stuff like that. But as you see, they're training to survive. They have to pick a side or do whatever. Try to feel like they make it make it a difference. Like here with the Fireflies, which they brainwashed her super quick. Um, I'll make a
I mean,
pipe
but
bomb.
I would say it wasn't a difficult thing to do, and I think they did a wonderful job of pointing out when Riley and Ellie were talking on the Ferris wheel, and Ellie says, if you come back, we can change this, we can change everything. And she said, no, you can't. Like, I turned 17 in a week. I've already been given my assignment, and it's sewer duty. Like, if you if you was to take someone and give them the option of fighting for complete freedom or just standing in front of people who shovel poop all day,
Yeah,
which one do you think they're going to pick? They at that point they can see the way the world is to them, and she said it feels to her like she had no other option
right.
but to join the Fireflies. And yes, while they possibly took advantage of her and had these pipe bombs, as Ellie finds out later on that it's not by happenstance that you're at the mall. You're stationed here. Like you have these bombs, you're doing their dealings for them, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But here at this point, Ellie still doesn't know that that's not necessarily a bad thing
Right.
of what Riley is doing here. But here we also get, I don't know if it's a clicker. All I noticed is I was waiting for two things this episode. I was waiting for them to be attacked in the mall because I knew that was going to happen. And I was waiting for them to kiss. Out of
You
those
felt
two
that kiss, but
moments,
you felt that kiss coming before all that, like.
I felt the kiss coming at the beginning. When they were on the rooftop, I knew a kiss was coming. It was foreshadowed that,
Oh,
oh, okay, not only is this Ellie's best friend, this is her first love. Not necessarily her friend. Like this is the first woman that she's loved as you
mhm.
go down the road of Ellie being part of the community. So I kind of sensed that from the beginning, like, oh, okay, we're just waiting for them two to kiss. And we're waiting for a thing to show up to attack them. It's gonna be both of things happening in this episode. What did you think about the setup first of the if that's a clicker, I'm gonna call them because at this point all of them are clickers to me. So the clicker attacking them and how they set that up and set that in motion and how they set up again the day in the life and which leads to the romantic moment between the two.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with me again knowing, kind of everything that's kind of coming here because they're not
Mhm.
really deviating too hard. Um, I was expecting it. I was just wondering how they were going to do it and if they were going to do it. But
Mhm.
I'm like, it's HBO. They definitely going to do it. Uh,
Yeah.
so it wasn't. It
Yes.
wasn't really. It was because that's kind of like you said. That's a really impactful scene. Is to like her obviously her relationship with her best friend
Yeah.
and her and how she is going forward throughout the rest of the series. But I really like the way they set it up. I like that they took the time to really kind of build upon Riley and like and they try to throw you off, and that's why I asked if you were surprised or not, because at the beginning Ellie makes a comment about, hey, you're gonna go off and get married to some guy or whatever, and she responds to it like kind of maybe or whatever. She kind of like plays it off, and that was kind of like the misdirection there to like what the
And that
relationship was
was
gonna be,
no,
huh?
no, no. That's the obvious moment. That happens in everything. The
um,
are you gonna go off and marry somebody? Maybe the maybe is the implying that no, I want to be with you. I don't want to marry a
right.
guy. So yeah, it was obvious then. I was like, oh, okay, they're
Yeah,
gonna kiss.
of course,
Yeah,
after they had their moment, like she
yeah.
expresses to her that she doesn't want her to leave, and I don't know if Fireflies have like a gunpoint policy, you can't leave once you join, but
Of course they do. Of course they do.
um,
We didn't give you a gun, and then all of a sudden you're gonna tell us no.
yeah, like I said, I thought it was directed very well, and like I said, they kind of nailed it to a T for me. Don't know why they were kissing on top of the glass case, but other than that, that was pretty solid.
Yeah, yeah. Normally I would say symbolism, but I don't know
Yeah,
what symbolism that would be.
yeah,
I
because they don't do
mean,
that in the game. They're like on ground level, so I'm not sure why
yeah.
they.
I mean, they clearly didn't have a Mexican filter then. So I don't know what they were trying to convey to the audience. But what did you think about just the way they set up the monster attacking here? By them technically triggering him by the amount of noise they were making.
Yeah, at first I thought they were gonna do something. I thought they were gonna probably change the scene where they get bit to like the crackhead that died in the house
Yeah,
with the bottle. I thought they were gonna try to do them there, but I was like, oh, they
yeah.
got me on that one. But like I said, I thought that because of that they were gonna do something different this time around. And for whatever reason, they do not like to show direct, like a person getting bit directly. Like when it comes to that, it's always like, oh man, like, they got me. What
Yeah,
I've noticed,
it's an innuendo.
right?
Like it
Like,
leaves the audience wondering, did they get
I mean,
bit?
they
Did
do
they
show
not
people
get
get
bit?
directly. Some people get directly torn, but like certain characters, it's like you just never truly know. Um, but yeah, like I said, the monster I thought was set up. And like I said, we got when this comes out, watch it again to see how it looks. But I'm pretty sure that was all practical. Like that guy was actually in a suit or something like that.
Yeah, especially from him and then having a fungus uh cascade down the wall
Yeah,
and that being the sensor to him that wakes him up is because the fungus feels the noise and it wakes him up because it knows something is going on here. Again, it
yeah,
plays into that same theory that the fungus is alive and it can
right.
feel things.
Did he look bigger to you before he like got up and started running around? Like when
Not
he was
really. He
laying
looked
there.
like a normal sized person.
Okay, that's why he looked a lot like super big. Like he was like a bigger dude. And for whatever reason, these things got super speed. Because I swear to God,
That's what
like
I'm
they
about
were
to
like,
say. Like, is that something with these
no, they're
things
like
that are infected? The infect
regular pace. Like I think people just running slow for some reason. Because they were halfway
but
across the store and somehow he like leaped and was already on them.
but
Which,
I want to say in one of the early episodes they brought up about them being really strong and fast, didn't
really?
they?
Okay, maybe I missed that. I just feel like they were always
I
kind of.
want to say they did. I mean, what fun would this be if they were just normal speed?
Yeah,
Like,
you got a point there.
you gotta have a real threat here. I mean, were they in other shows of this nature? Are they like in The Walking Dead? Are they normal speed?
Yeah, they're not like if they were running, they would have been dead. They not
So
even
what?
they like half normal speed in The Walking Dead.
So why are they a threat? Now I'm really confused. See, nope, not even gonna get into it. I'm confused how something's a threat if it moves that slow. But here, I think they did bring it up about the speed of them, and I guess it plays
Yeah,
well with the show from them to take on that was that World War Z feel to it or 28 days later feel to it where
right.
they move a little faster than what you're accustomed to seeing here. It kind of works well with the show here. But then we get the transition after it's discovered that both of them are bit, which we kind of know that's coming because we got to see, I guess, how Ellie finds out she's immune to everything.
Right.
So we get them bit, but at the same time of that traumatic moment, we fast forward to Ellie still dealing with Joel. And here we get her scrounging around looking for something to save Joel. And then we go back in time again, which was a weird thing to do. I just
Right.
assumed once you went forward, you would stay forward. But then to go back again, and then for them to have that conversation about the two ways to end this. We can either go the easy way out, which she decides she doesn't want to go the easy way out, or we can just wait and see what happens. And then from that moment, we go right back to Ellie and Joel, and she finds magically in the drawer, just like a discoverable in a video game, a needle and thread, and begins to do something that I don't think she would have the skill set to do, which is to sew up human flesh to save Joel's life.
Right.
What did you just think about that ending?
Yeah.
Really?
I would. I mean, they were basically military, right? I'm not sure why they wouldn't.
Military don't. I don't think they would teach you to sew. Like,
hey, it's a different era of military. What was your question?
What did you think about the ending of the episode?
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed because like they ended the same way with that conversation, and then it goes off. I was kind of hoping to get more as to what obviously Riley dies. I kind of wanted to see it, and I kind of wanted to see what's next that happens for Ellie. Like, do they, she able to get back? She waits and Marlene shows up. What, like, they are kind of curious as to like what happens after that. They didn't give it to us here, which I was kind of upset about. But overall, I thought it was cool. Give a little more backstory to Ellie. Like I said, I wasn't expecting them to do this this early in the thing. And yeah, when they add the VFX for that bite, I get to see what it looks like. No, I'm joking, HBO. There's no disrespect. I appreciate
you. Well, you've already disrespected a large group of people already in this episode. Sir.
Oh my god!
So you've already crossed the line. But for me, I mean, it feels like a filler episode. Unfortunately,
yeah.
While it does give you more information about Ellie, it wasn't something that I even cared to get. And I think that's what threw me off here. Like, it's not something I cared to get more backstory on her, because I didn't know anything about Riley, and it just feels like it fell out the blue that, hey, this is another character that you need to know about. But at least, as you keep on telling me, they are being extremely faithful to the game.
Yeah.
So if they're going to keep on going down this road, I can understand how you're going to make some people happy, but then I can understand how, from a storytelling standpoint, people who don't know the game may question this episode a little bit and the importance of this episode a little bit, because it feels, especially the end, that jumping back and forth just felt
that was unnecessary. They should have just stayed in the flashback.
Just give us to the flashback and then possibly open the next episode with her looking for the needle thread, finding it, into the episode, and then we start with the next episode. But the going back and forth just felt like a lot to end this episode. But again, comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you thought about episode 7, Friends Forever. Let us know what you think about the flashback. Let us know what you think about the introduction of Riley. Was it done properly? Let us know if you feel that this was possibly a filler, unnecessary episode. Anything else, Terrell?
No. Like I said, I think
his mark. He's supposed to say something, and he just missed his mark altogether.
I know you say you had the feelings about, like, if it felt like a filler episode, but did you feel like the origin of like how she got bitten was unnecessary, or that could have been done
completely? Completely. I did not need to know.
Kept it a mystery.
It's not even necessarily being a mystery. I just assume you got bit because you're in a world where, excuse me, where people get bit. So I didn't need to see it. That's it. It threw me off.
Okay.
Exactly. You see how much it threw me off? You made me choke by pause by even having to talk more about it. But again, like, subscribe. I'm losing my voice. Let us know what you think about this episode. Let us know what you think about the series so far. We're 7 episodes in, so we have 3 episodes left in this season. Maybe it'll get better for some people. Maybe it won't. At least, as Terrell says, it's faithful to the game.
Yeah.
So, another big gold belt production. Peace, people.
See you guys later.